My mother encouraged me to live life beyond my fears, and for most of my life I didn't do that. I was afraid most of the time. I managed well, I had a good career, and did like probably most of you. You know, I got married, I had a family, and I had dreams and desires from my childhood that I kind of put on the shelf. And I don't feel like I gave up anything. What I did was I put them aside for something better. Raising my son, loving my husband, taking care of my mother, my sisters, and just being the person I was supposed to be for them. But, you know, as life is, it takes you through all kinds of changes. I ran into a roadblock. My perfect life that I thought I was going to have, it just disappeared. And it wasn't because I tried not to let that happen, it just did. So I had a choice. I could wallow in my pity, or I could do like my mother said, live beyond my fears. And so I decided to live beyond my fears, but I have to tell you that when you live beyond your fears, you don't live in that place by yourself. You usually have to have supportive people. And sometimes it's not your family, because your family may not be with you, as was not my case. And so I had the support of my friends. And I tell you, as a woman, I don't know how anybody can make it through life without your girlfriends. So it just doesn't happen. So here I am. A year ago, I didn't have a book. I got a book. A year ago, I wasn't singing. Here I am. A year ago, I would not have been on this stage sharing. We've talked about family and friends. We've gone into lust, love, and desire. And what happens to those relationships over time is a breakup, moving on, and back to me. When you talk about a breakup, there usually are some warning signs that let you know that something's about to happen. And the title of my book is Sometimes He Buys Me Grapes. And a lot of times we know these things before they happen, but we just don't want to acknowledge them. I was sitting around and I thought about it, and I was talking to one of my friends. My best friend had the nerve to say, he doesn't do a thing for you, it's always about him, and him. Why do you stay? I looked at her as she challenged me, wanting me to stand up and face the fact that I was holding on to a hope that had seen better days. So in defense, I opened my mouth and I belligerently blurted out, sometimes he buys me grapes. That's all I could say. That was the best that I could say. I looked at her. She looked at me. She even rolled her eyes at me. Then with clenched teeth and a sarcastic tone to her voice, she asked, were they seedless grapes or grapes with seeds? Were they red grapes, green grapes, or black grapes? Because you know it makes a difference. Annoyed, I said, who the hell cares what kind of grapes they were? I looked at her. She looked at me. And then we both broke out in uncontrollable laughter because the only good thing I had to say about him was, sometimes he buys me grapes. If I could, I'd protect you from the sadness in your eyes. give you courage in a world of compromise. Yes, I would, if I could. I would teach you all the things I've never learned. I'd help you cross the bridges that I've burned. Yes, I would, if I could. I would try to shield your innocence from time. But the part of life I gave you isn't mine. I'll watch you grow so I can let you go. If I could, I would help you make it through the hungry years. And I know that I could never cry your tears, but I would if I could. Okay, you're doing good. Life gets very confusing when we add lust and desire to the mix. And so there's a song that we're going to sing. I'm going to sing the verse, you're going to sing the chorus, and then we're going to see where it goes from there. Okay? But it gets you in the mood. Uh-oh. I know you remember the song. This song is as old as I am. It's called Fever. Okay, here I go. Never know how much I love you. Never know how much I care. When you put your arms around me, I get a fever that's so hard to bear. You give me fever when you kiss me. Fever when you hold me tight. Fever in the morning. Fever all through the night. Now the chorus. Everybody's, come on, got the fever. That is something you all know. Hey, fever isn't such a new thing. Fever started long ago. I know it's been a long time. But let me tell you what I'm wishing for, okay? I wish I had a man. I wish I had a man who wanted to hold me close, squeeze me so, then let me go as he backed up just a bit and took his hand and so gently lifted my chin so my eyes could look into his. And I would see his smile as he looked at me. Then he would take his index finger and gently trace the outside of my face as I continued to look at him. His finger would stop as he gently caressed the back of my neck. He would move in closer to me, then with his face so near to mine, he would even bend closer to me so smoothly and kiss me sweetly. Wow. Yes, I do wish I had a man who would let me know by the way he stops dead in his tracks as I walk by. The look on his face lets me know that I am his only pleasure for the moment as he looks at me. And that look that I see says he loves only me. Because of this, he knows and I know that I would forever be his. If I had this man, I would love this man. I would forever care for this man. I would treat him like the man. I would honor him as a man who loves me like no other man can. Yes, one day I will have a man like the man that today I wish I had. That man who can give me fever. Oh, baby, baby. What a lovely way to burn. We're in the breakup still. There is an understanding of where we are. This is called I've Been to Hell and I wore it well. My grown divorced nephew asked me a question I did not know if I could answer, at least not in a way that would make any sense to him. He asked, why would you stay with my uncle for all these years if he was so bad? At first, all I could say is I just did. How do I explain to a man that as a woman, The tendency to nurture the man I love is strong. Even when things were bad, the little bit of good I saw in my man made me want to stay and try to fix it. I just could not give up. I found myself trying to recreate those good memories. I wanted to relive the joy from the past and place it in my present. It just didn't work for me or us. According to my man for life list, I knew beyond a doubt that he should have been my perfect mate. There was a side of him I loved and will always love. But that side of him never seemed to stay too long, no matter how hard I kept trying to pull him closer to me. We both liked our space, but he needed more space. The closeness required to make our marriage work was too close for comfort for him. I admit he was caring, smart, and fun to be with. He still is all those things, but that was not enough for me. He just was not, is not, nor has he ever been responsible enough for me. The burden and responsibility I had to carry alone much of the time was even heavier due to the lack of respectability when it came down to the word we, and it was killing me. I was drained of everything I had, and I had nothing left to give him. He was way overdrawn, and I saw no attempt or concern to make a deposit into my or our lives beyond his terms, his time, his choice, as if I had no voice and I shouldn't even care. But I did, and I do. It took me a long time to admit to myself that I was fighting for something I could not win. If it was not a win-win situation, then we both were going to be losers. There is no middle ground when it comes to love. I needed him to be honest with me. I needed him to do the things he said he would do. I needed to know that he would do his best to protect and try to provide for me, or just hold me and tell me that what we had was precious and worth any bit of sacrifice that either of us would make because we would do it together. I needed to trust him. I needed that. I craved that. I didn't have that. I knew I would never have it with him. I just got tired of making hell look so good. So, thank you. So, he has my heart. Yes, my man. Maybe I will meet him someday. Maybe Monday. Maybe not. But I know I'm sure to meet him one day. Maybe Tuesday will be my good news day. We'll build a little home just meant for two, from which I'll never roam. Who would you? And so all of a sudden, I'm waiting for the man I love.
Excuse me, I told you it was in there.
You did. I told you I have to believe your girlfriend. The first poem that I wrote that made me think that I could write a book was one called My Mother Prayed for Me. She was a praying woman. We grew up in the church. But most of your mothers prayed for you. Your fathers prayed for you. And The words are, my mother prayed for me. She prayed that I be strong so that I could carry on when everyone was gone, because she cared for me. She wanted me to be free, to be the best of me. And now I truly see that it takes time to be a person who can really be free. Because now I understand that things happen that one can't plan. Oh yes, my mother prayed for me. And somebody prayed for you to be that awesome individual you turned out to be. We are on this journey together, and it's the journey of life. And we have choices that we get to make each and every day. We get to make the best of whatever we have. It's like taking that lemon, that sour lemon, and making lemonade. You put a little water in it, a little sugar, stir it up, and you have something very, very sweet. And you have offered me you for this time. And I feel I've had the best glass lemonade ever, ever, ever.